Hello, everyone. I'm John Featherston, founder and CEO of RISMedia, and welcome to another edition of RISMedia's Industry Briefings. Today, we're going to learn more about HouseCanary's partnership with Google and what that means for real estate agents, team leaders, and brokerage owners, as well as consumers, and how this will affect or may affect the future of residential real estate. Before I begin, I have a quick update for you regarding RISMedia's 38th annual CEO and Leadership Exchange, September 30th to October 2nd in Washington, D.C. at the Fairmont Hotel. To the hundreds of leaders who have already registered, thank you. And to those who have not yet registered, please take advantage of the July special attendance rates. Joining our already powerful lineup of more than 115 industry decision makers, speakers, and panelists tackling the most important issues facing our industry today. We're proud to announce we'll be joined by 4 more industry leaders. Marcus Leonis, the Chief Executive and Chairman of CEO of Beyond, which now includes Fathom Realty. Sue Yannicone, the Chief Operating Officer of Compass International Holdings. Dawn Flaff, the CEO and founder of My State MLS, more important than ever today, and Alan Dalton, legendary industry innovator and executive, as well as Lori Mueller, the president of Fathom Realty, and the CEO is becoming even stronger than ever before. Scan the QR code and see for yourself the incredible agenda and all the powerful leaders who will be sharing their insights and networking with hundreds of our attendees. This will be the most powerful and informative event in our industry this year. Invest in your future. Join the hundreds of real estate brokerage owners and leaders at our 38th annual CEO and Leadership Exchange. I look forward to seeing you in Washington, D.C. Now, joining me today is Chris Rediger, the CEO of HouseCanary. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here with us today, Chris. And following the announcement last month that our audience has all seen, they want to know more about HouseCanary's partnership with Google and what it means for the real estate agents, team leaders, brokerages, and the consumers they serve. So let's talk a little bit about this. Since the announcement, many questions have arisen about what it all means for residential real estate. Prior to today's show, Chris and I have spent a few sessions talking about what's happened in the last couple of months and how there's been a lot of misinformation in the media regarding HouseCanary's relationship with Google. And we're here today to learn more about what's actually happening and set the record straight from your perspective, Chris. So how has the media gotten it wrong so far, Chris?
Well, I think that the media's gotten a lot better recently with the coverage and when we've been able to speak about it more. But this has been a very long process. We've been working with Google for over 3 years. So throughout that period, there were some things where we came to the market in waves and in experiments with Google that were just interpreted a little bit incorrectly. So I think one of the biggest things that we want to put out there is we are getting the data from MLSs and we are striving to be as compliant as possible in doing so. So we're getting custom paper with MLSs and having agreement with MLSs and having conversations with every MLS where this real estate data is going to Google. So it is all permissible and we're working to stay in compliance. So that's the biggest thing that I want to put in front of everybody around the media perspective. It's like, this is compliant. Contact your local MLS if you want to participate, and we're happy to just to continue keeping it above board in the whole way.
So I know that your phone is ringing off the hook and your emails are just chock full with both real estate brokerages and top team leaders and other industry experts trying to reach you and find out how can they possibly get involved with the relationship. Are you presently dealing with how are you presently dealing with those inquiries?
Yeah. So there's a few ways that people can get involved, and I mean we're taking it in stride. So it's pretty popular right now. So if you have reached out, know that we will get back to you. But there's a few ways that we're working through this, and I think it's good to understand kind of the experience and what we're bringing to market with Google through this experience pilot. So we are, HouseCanary is a 50-state licensed brokerage, and we have agreements with around 300 MLSs as it sits right now. We're specifically going to the MLSs and getting approval to be part of this pilot with Google. And those are coming in. So when we get an approval from the MLS, any broker who's a member of that MLS, their listings will show up. If we do not have approval from an MLS, or if we're currently working on getting approval, there's a couple other ways to get the listings into the pilot. And the easiest one is working with the national MLS, because again, we have to take all the data through the pilot through MLSs. We can't take it from brokers directly. So My State MLS is a national solution that's out there that you can join. Anybody can join them, and you put your listings in there, and then they will automatically syndicate to the feature. So that's the way to join right now if your MLS is not a member. And if your MLS is a member of the program, like in CR MLS or Bright MLS or RE Colorado, you don't really need to do anything. Your listings already show up. And then there's a whole advertising angle through Google where agents can advertise on these listings as well. But as a listing agent, it's click to contact. Your name's going to be there. Anybody who uses it can see the listing agent and contact them directly from their phone, and that's free.
Now, Chris, is this? Tell me if this statement is accurate. That this new partnership is nominally part of Google's local services ads program, and the participating MLS broker listings are fed directly into the top of the Google mobile search, really, which is the top of the funnel, and results in the integrated top of the searches reaction. What is the experience like for the agents who are now part of the Google's local service ads program, and what is the results that they're receiving?
Yeah. So good question. So to take it back, this is part of Google local service ads, and Google prioritizes local content above everything else. And to touch on one point that you did mention, this is only on mobile devices. So you only be able to experience this on a browser and a mobile phone. So what local service ads is the same service that provides opportunities to plumbers and electricians and companies that have a little bit more of a geographical constraint than a national-based company. And real estate falls really nice into that category, right? Because real estate agents are local experts. So any real estate agent that has a Google business profile can then advertise on Google local services. And what's unique about this advertisement is that you're shown alongside the listing agent with, in this experience, in this, listing details page and in the search, but you only pay per lead. Google's a marketing company. They only want to sell marketing. So you advertise there, you're featured there. And then if you have someone contact you from the advertisement, then you pay Google for it. And it's a per lead fee. So I can't quote directly how much it costs because it varies, but it's in the realm of $50 to $250 per opportunity to send to you.
So while Google doesn't share publicly the exact number of real estate or home specific queries it processes, over 90+%, it's estimated, of home buyers start their searches online, effectively serving as the absolute top of the marketing and sales funnel, making real estate one of Google's highest intent categories. The rise of AI engines and the way people are executing home searches is rapidly evolving. Recent real estate market reports show that 61% of buyer side real estate searches now begin inside of AI engines like ChatGPT or Google's AI overviews, rather than traditional keyword matched search bars. Google's already a leader in this sector. So how do you see your partnership evolving as AI affects how people are searching for homes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, AI is changing the way people engage with search engines. I want to clarify something. This is kind of one of those what did they get wrong or right pieces that we should kind of circle back to. the real estate data that we're working with Google on to display is not accessible through Gemini or any large language model. So now there's AI everywhere, right? There's AI in your Gmail, there's AI in your Gmail search. Just understand that the data is protected and we are contractually not allowing it to go into the LLM for training purposes or anything like that. So the search query that invokes this experience is geographic based and it is keyword based. So it is homes for sale in Los Angeles, right? That brings up this experience. Now it might bring up a AI response below it in Gemini, that's something else, but local services ad still has that priority placement above those AI generated responses, and the real estate data is not incorporated to the LLM. Do I think that'll change in the future? Yeah, it's probably going to change in the future. Not with us in this agreement in the paper. That's more just my opinion on AI's growth because it's prohibited in what we're doing right now. But I think AI is powerful, and I think it provides a good customer experience.
So the data is protected. It's coming from the MLSs, and obviously it's extremely important to the MLSs and the real estate communities. The data is protected, and that's part of the agreement.
Yeah, that is part of the agreement. The data is protected, and it's not used in large language models or used to train large language models.
Now, how does Google's entry into the home search arena compare to what today's portals, the common portals we discuss all the time, are currently doing? It's an estimated 16 billion searches per day, and an incredible estimated about 3.2 billion of which are local searches, a large portion of which includes buyers and sellers looking for free key phrases like homes for sale or houses for sale. Is the program built around selling advertising opportunities or leads to the real estate community? How is it built?
Yeah. So I think I want to take a pause there in the comparison to portals. To your point earlier, 16 billion searches a day. Now that Google doesn't go into what segment gets what number of searches or geographically based segments either. So we don't have all that information, but the scale of 16 billion is just, it's worth to take a second and let that sink in.
It really is. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, what is that? Like almost 2.7 searches per human per day, right? So just think about that. But when you boil it down, the Google experience is very top of funnel. It's very early, and it's not meant to replace an in-depth home search. So there's still a lot of value that the portals will provide and that agent searches can provide and all of the tools that are in the industry. It's not there to completely replace that. What it does is it provides relevant local content to the users in a comfortable and very familiar setting. And hopefully they feel comfortable communicating with agents that way too. So to the second part of this is an advertising model. This is to provide agents opportunities with people interested in their product, which is homes they're selling, right? So that's really how it works. That's how Google's going to make money doing this. That's the playbook that they run in every industry. So this is just content, which is the listings that are going to identify intent from Google's user base, which is everybody on Earth. So
and that's important information to know. And I think the next step on that is I think every single real estate professional on this broadcast today wants to know, does that mean that our commissions are not going to be touched? It's an advertising vehicle, not something that's going to be attached to our commissions.
Yeah, I mean, I can say a lot of things around this, but I always like to stick to the facts. Google's not a licensed real estate brokerage. They do not have rights or entitlements to any commissions. Their current revenue structure is that of an advertising company, which they have been forever. And they charge a advertising fee on a per lead basis. So for one to opine on the change of Google to become a licensed real estate agent to take commissions, I don't know if that's really in the cards, but that's my personal opinion. I really don't think it is because they're a large regulated company and I don't think they want to go down that road. But that's my personal opinion. I think we're pretty safe in sticking with the advertising campaigns that they're accustomed to and that all their other products use. So I don't think they're going to go the commission route.
So at least for now, it's safe to say that Google's not really going to be competing head to head with portals on the consumer experience. But at what point do you think in the future could Google solve some of the friction that is taking place in the industry with regards to portals?
I think, looking at it, and can't really comment on future state, but Google loves to experiment, test, and iterate, right? And that's proven. And I think there's some pretty neat things that they'll probably do with this product that will do what it's intended to do, which is provide a good experience to the consumer, right? And a great experience to the agent. So, with that said, and kind of looking at it, like it's not my place to necessarily comment on the frictions that the portals are creating in the industry, but I do know that Google's objective here is to do right by the consumer and do right by its advertisers. And they test and iterate. So they're going to make cool things, and they're going to make things easier and better for those parties. And that's what they do. So, and I hope that the outcome of that is less friction and a cleaner and easier process.
Well, competition is always good, no matter what sector you're in. And I think this is going to be good for our industry. So, Chris, how does Google's usage of the listings as with ads align with the longstanding IDX, the data agreements and principles meant to encourage reciprocal sharing of listing information that serves all agents and all consumers today?
Yep. That's a great question. So I was just on a call with an MLS yesterday, and I think the premise of that was, if you squint at this, it looks like IDX. And at that point, my response is, you guys tell me what is IDX and what is not IDX, and I'll tell you what this is, and then we'll figure out if we need to have a custom paper that's different with the MLS, that is something that is outside of the bounds of IDX. Or if you believe that it's inside of the bounds of IDX, then tell me how we should, be compliant in that regard. And we're working with a bunch of MLSs. We have MLSs who think this is IDX compliant. We have MLSs who are like, yeah, it's not quite there. Or maybe we just feel even better if we have this outlined as a specific use case. So we're going to want to have a custom contract with you. And we're open to both. Like I said at the beginning of this, we want to make sure we're coloring within the lines and do right by the MLSs and the brokers who provide the data to the MLSs. So we're happy to kind of go whichever way that we're directed, and I will stay out of the fight of what is or is not IDX because I've read a lot of IDX agreements, and they all have their own special little flavor. So,
well, that sounds like a very good plan. And Chris, RISMedia and HouseCanary have had a long history together, watching you evolve and watching the company and your co-founders, especially Jeremy, build a great business. But tell us a little bit about HouseCanary's real estate clients, how they're drawn to what HouseCanary has been doing because of your defense pricing models, which I think are very interesting. I'm not sure our viewers know a lot about that and how you've utilized and brought to the marketplace automated valuation models, AVMs that can really help them even without Google. But let's talk a little bit how your defense pricing models work and how it's being utilized right now in the marketplace.
Yeah, of course. So HouseCanary has been around since 2012. We've been in the market for a very long time, and our core product is our automated home value. Now, this is a underwriting grade, independent, third-party tested, FHFA compliant valuation. That's a really long way of saying it's very accurate, and it's tested. So this valuation has been used in a lot of different ways in the market. Pretty common use case for it is collateral underwriting, right? So think of using it in lieu of an appraisal. So we power a lot of loan products out there, like DSCR loans, hard money loans, HELOCs. Not your Fannie Freddie typical mortgages, those still need an appraisal, but we provide an appraisal substitute for a lot of alternate loan products. We also use it for MSR valuations. Those are like the big pools of loans that banks own. And we also use it for independent valuations of property values for companies that own a lot of real estate. So we've been doing that in the market forever. Like I said, it's third-party tested, and we rank very high in that testing. So it is very accurate. And real estate agents have really started to use it as well. We recently did a deal with EXP where every real estate agent who is with EXP can log into their new portal, which is awesome. And they can see the HouseCanary user interface. They can log in and they can grab values from it. And why agents want to use this is it is a great icebreaker. You can get a full report that looks a lot like an appraisal. You can take it to a listing appointment and you can say, okay, here's what the bank values your house at. If you went and got a HELOC from your bank right now, this is the value they'd use. It's like, now what should we list it at, right? And that's really powerful. It kind of disarms the seller a little bit. And it's like, okay, cool. Here's the baseline. Now what should we actually list this thing at to sell it? So we're getting a lot of adoptions by agents, and that's really our core product. I can talk for days about it. I'll take a break because I'm pretty passionate.
Well, you do have, I know the statistics and the usage. It's like a 2.7% post-list median error rate, which is extremely low. And I think having talked to many of the brokers and agents that are using it, they're using it as a competitive advantage. And what type of response have you had from your existing clients getting to know that all of a sudden you're in a partnership with Google? What's that reaction been like?
They love it. I mean, what we are trying to do as a company is bring transparency to real estate. And we think that, showing our valuation where it's permissible in the Google experience does that. Right? We want people to be able to understand what their assets are worth. When our customers who use this for collateral evaluation or what have you, see it shown throughout all these different experiences, it brings more value to them in using it that way because it makes it less opaque. It makes the price of the home pretty transparent. And that's what we're really trying to do. Make it transparent, easy, and trustworthy.
Well, obviously, as you know, dealing with real estate agents and top team leaders and brokerage owners and MLS executives, okay, they're all about transparency. Now, if I'm a broker or I'm a team leader, I'm so interested in what you're doing as far as Google's concerned. How do I get my listings on this new program partnership with Google? Again, it's only through the MLSs, but what pressure can they bring upon their own MLSs to get involved with you?
Yeah. So, I mean, the easiest thing and what everyone can do is if your MLS isn't participating yet, we would love to talk to them. We probably are talking to them to a degree. If we aren't, we would take the call immediately. So talk to your local boards, talk to your MLS leadership, say we want our listings to show on HouseCanary. That is the easiest and fastest way to do this. There's a couple other ways. So some large brands have been pretty proactive. So EXP, Compass, Keller Williams, Weicker, they're all having conversations, and they're creating solutions to be able to get their listings for all of their agents and all of their brokers onto this platform because they think it's beneficial to them. So they've set up different agreements with national MLSs and things like that, so that they're kind of doing the heavy lifting for their brokers, so the brokers don't have to do it independently. But if you are an independent broker, feel free to contact us, contact your local MLS. We can also set an arrangement with you if it's easier to contact one of those national MLSs. So we've just signed up and helped Keys out of Florida, which is an independent, sign up with my state MLS, and they were able to get other listings shown on Google. And it really gave them a first mover advantage because when the local MLS isn't signed up yet, we can only show the national MLSs, and they don't have 100% market share. So your listings get viewed more. So there's a couple different ways to do it, but we want to work with every MLS. We want to show every single home that's for sale through this. So really, whatever way is easier and faster, we'll help you guys accommodate it. So feel free to reach out or reach out to your local MLS.
So get ready for an onslaught, Chris, because I know I have been personally contacted by so many different brokerage organizations that want to get involved for their agents, Realty One Group, and HomeSmart, and I could go on and on and on. They all want to get involved and find out how they can help their agents get involved with the program. So with that, the industry is currently reorganizing itself around the flow of listings and MLSs and brokerages, all seeking greater control and remuneration over their data. Apart from visibility, why should MLSs and brokerages share their listings with Google as opposed to the other portals? Just give an answer to that, because that's a question that's been coming up quite a bit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily opposed to, and it really boils down to what the broker wants and what the consumer wants. If you have the belief that the largest level of exposure will sell the house the fastest, then you want it everywhere. And this is a way to get it literally everywhere because of its user base. So if you don't think that that's appropriate, or if there's circumstances where that is something that maybe isn't the objective, that's completely fine. In no way, shape, or form do we think that we should take every listing. If people want to opt out, or if they're not interested in putting a particular advertising piece together through Google, then that's fine. But I can say that this is pretty unique in the sense that most of the time, and most industries have to pay to have the product that they're selling shown on Google. Don't quote me on this, but in recent memory, I can only think of the one time where you don't have to pay to show it on Google if it's not organic, is through this feature. So that's pretty monumental, right? To just be able to say like, hey, I'm advertising this product. It's a house, right? And I can put it on Google for free. That's pretty cool. A lot of people looking at it that way, and hopefully sell it faster.
Well, Chris, there is kind of an understatement to say there's quite a few people on Google searching for things, especially as we migrate even further into this new world of AI, and how Google is essentially a de facto leader in that sector as well. And obviously, in residential real estate, we're all looking for an advantage to give our clients and our customers, and exposure on Google can only help our viewers and our readers here from RISMedia become even better purveyors of information and great service for their customers. Now, with that, as we come to a close here, what do you think the next step will be as far as what this partnership might evolve into? Is it the possibility of the partnership evolving into a Google Flights or a dedicated Google Home Search? What do you think might happen into the next several months or years with Google?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to Google's roadmap. I can speak to the fact that they're some of the most interesting people that I've worked with from a product perspective. I'm a product guy at heart, so getting back into this world, it's been fun to work with them. So I know they have a lot of great ideas, and there's some very cool things that could be coming out, but none of it's written in stone. What I can speak to is kind of how HouseCanary plays into this. So our product that agents can sign up for, and like I said before, now EXP agents have, and there was going to be a bunch of other ones that have access to it for free. You can very soon be able to log into it. You'll be able to see all the listings that are going to be shown on Google. You'll be able to kind of look at your listing dashboard, and then it's also a way in for you to be able to advertise. So if you log into a HouseCanary account, it makes advertising on Google a little bit easier with setting up that business account and going that way. So those are the two things that I know are coming that I can speak to. Everything else that's going to be fancy and whiz-banging from Google, I hope it comes, and there's a lot of cool stuff on deck, but I can't get too deep into it.
Well, Chris, there is so much happening right now, and I applaud you and Jeremy and the whole team at HouseCanary for working on this relationship for several years to bring it to fruition, to where it is today and where it might be in the future. So congratulations on that. And before I close out, do you have any final comments for our audience?
No, I just think I love this industry. I'm excited to be in it, and I really appreciate being able to talk about it today, and thank you for the invite, John. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. HouseCanary.com is where you can send it. So.
Well, HouseCanary.com is exactly where people should reach out and find out how they can get involved. And Chris, over the next several weeks, there's going to be a lot happening and you'll keep us informed, and we'll keep the industry informed as to what's happening with HouseCanary and the partnership.
Yep.
And it's a pleasure to have you on. Also, you're going to be on our main stage at the 38th annual RIS Media CEO and Leadership Exchange in Washington, D.C., September 30th to October 2nd, discussing what is the latest happenings with your partnership and what HouseCanary is bringing to the marketplace. So if you're not coming to the CEO Exchange already, sign up and come down and meet Chris firsthand. And we want to wish you and your team the best. And certainly all of you, I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes of this broadcast. And I'll see you in Washington, September 30th at the Fairmont Hotel at the 38th annual RIS Media CEO and Leadership Exchange. Chris, thanks for taking part.
Yep. Thanks, John. I'm excited to go to the exchange. Have a good one.